Hello LEGO lovers, this is L, and as you can see, this set that we have in picture isn't even able to fit on the screen. It is one of the biggest mini doll sets they have ever made, and it is the Ice Castle set number 43197. Has about 1,700 pieces and retails for $200 unless you get a deal or something on it. And as you can see, we have the front here, and I'm going to talk about the building first before we get into the figures. So, this is just the base part. I'm going to try and scan up here so you can see the top part and kind of how tall it is. It is bigger than my backdrop here, but we'll start at the top. So here we can basically see just an ice spear, which is a really cool design with different parts used to kind of make that way taller. So it's kind of a stretch, but it's still very cool. And then as we go down, we have more of the design put in there using lots of satin parts. Check out my parts review for a whole rundown of all the parts. And we can see there's a lot of these kind of just kind of transparent parts mixed in there with aqua and plates, etc. Here we have our first window. Unfortunately, the window has no glass in it, which is a little bit unfortunate. And then this is kind of the mid-level. I do really kind of like this middle design there. Those are stickers on each side. It is very symmetrical in building. Actually, I think it's 100% symmetrical, at least until you get to the end side. And then as you go down, you see we have the balcony level, which doesn't have any glass windows or curtain, but still is really cool. And now we're going to kind of pull her back so we can get the full view of it. And down here, you can see how we have the same kind of technique they used on the original Ice Castle, using this windshield piece with sticker. So you can kind of see it opens. Pretty nice, I guess. I don't know if there's a better way to really do that for the balcony part. We also have kind of detailing going down here. And then the door right here is again a sticker. It does open, and it's fairly thin and nice in comparison to the other door. And the stairs we have here are interesting, but a little simple. You can see that we can just pop them off fairly easily, and it just uses those cheese wedge parts, and it uses the blue parts as railings. It's really simple, rather basic, unfortunately. Kind of on each side here, we have these dark blue kind of build-ups for trees. We got one on each side. Bring this one in closer. You can see it's a really simple build, but still kind of really cool. Not too special. The side kind of parts are pretty awesome too. We'll kind of get a different angle here. But you can see, like, this is actually mostly completely satin parts, which makes it look really good. Whereas down here we have a lot of the white, and then there's aqua there. And it's just kind of a mixture, you could say. I like how these spires turned out. Those are fairly accurate. There is lots of this type of satin part all over here, but there's a lot of texture added to it. It's not just really just plain and smooth, as you can see. And the color streaks are pretty cool. This kind of simple detailing is still kind of nice. It's nice to just have added details. And yeah, I like it a lot, but let's kind of take a look at our interior. So you can kind of see how thin it is. We do have some minor window type detail here, which is kind of cool on the sides. And again, that's that sticker we had before. But overall, it's still a really cool looking front type set. But then we get to the inside here, and we're going to lower this down here and just look really close at the base. we can see that we have a nice kind of just detail accent type sticker. To be honest, I don't feel it's necessary, but it's just kind of a detail sticker. And then we have an ice fountain, I guess. It's not really a water fountain. And this is a sticker here. Just kind of a neat, simple design. Not really movie accurate, as this didn't exist, I don't think, anywhere in the film that I noticed. Back here, we have a really cool build for a white piano. And normally they use the lipstick parts, but they made a specific part, and I'll kind of show that a little more lately. Stickers here, this is those prints, which is nice. Just kind of a nice piano. Not sure it overly fits. We have stickers in the backs here, which I'll zoom out. You can kind of see how they are. They go all the way down. These are fairly bit unnoticeable really back there. We have the door here. And then the chandelier, which is right there, is on a ball joint, so it can kind of move. Still a pretty cool design. Probably nowhere near the size of the one from the actual movie. Then we have the stairs, which are a really interesting build. Initially, when I saw it from a distance, you know, when you look at the pictures, I thought these were going to be the stairs that they used in the other Elsa building, with they kind of have, you know, the rotating thing. But no, it's a lot of Technic. And initially I thought it was really bad. But having built it up and seen how it looks, I really like it. And I think it's actually really good for the stair effect. Now, unfortunately, there's no studs on these stairs, so you can't have a miniature perfectly stay standing on there. You can place them on there. Each of these is a 1x4 satin tile, which is a cool part to get. Still waiting for the 1x2. And then we're kind of bordered with aqua, and we kind of got... It's just nicely smooth. Obviously, it's a cutout so you can see inside. I don't know if there's a better way they could have done that. A few things I don't like here. One, again, this wasn't really in the movie at all. I don't like that you can see Technic. Whoops. That could be an issue too, but really not that big of a one. I don't like that you can see the Technic here. Also the step, kind of back there, you can't necessarily see it. We'll pull that out. To get into the balcony is rather high right there, in my opinion. And then again, seeing that Technic, I wish they would have just... You could have fixed this easily by just putting in a couple pins and tiles to cover it up, and then you wouldn't see the Technic at all. You'd have some extra detail. And then with that too, there's not a whole lot of detail down here. Now, admittedly, in the Ice Castle, there was really not a lot of anything. I mean, it's pretty much like she just moved in and didn't furnish it. But like, it just feels really barren down here. And the piano just sticking there with nothing else around it just kind of feels off. Seeing the anti-studs on the door is a little awkward. I feel like it should have been mostly tiled off here or something, because it was ice and there was no... I don't know. It just looks awkward, the just floor area. The building of this and how that looks, I think, looks fantastic. It just feels empty down there, and that's not as big as it should be, which is a little bit of a letdown. But we'll move up to the next level here. And as you can see, this one is a lot more detailed. Hopefully I can get a good enough view in here. But as you can see, we have a whole plethora of little things. We got a little micro build of Arendelle, and you can easily pull that out. It's just a cool little build using aqua and white parts. We have a statue with a crown on it. We have a simple but still pretty neat, I think you can get this out fairly easily, throne here. Oops. And like I said, simple but neat. That's a sticker. That's a sticker. I like the wedge plate shaping on the back. Yeah, I think this is a really cool little throne. It's smaller than ones I've made, but I think it's really cool. And then back here, we can see some other things. We'll zoom in a little bit. There's a map of the Arendelle area with the Ice Queen's castle on there. We have a printed ship in the bottle piece, and we have a new hourglass with actual sand coloring in there. That is a really cool sticker. I'm really happy with how that looks. I'm also really happy with how accurately I placed it on there. But then over here we have some more stickers, which are kind of like detailed tapestries, you could say, on the back. Just a really nice sticker again. And then over here we have just a heart jewel and some ice skates, and another picture that appears to be just the Arendelle Castle. So really detailed little area up there, maybe a little awkward, but then we'll move up and we get the bed. And as you can see, the bed has a sticker for the sheets, a kind of small pillow, nice kind of detailing out here, but it feels fairly cramped there actually. So I don't know, it's a little awkward. Obviously it doesn't work because it's kind of like the dollhouse type build. There's no legitimate way to get to it. But it's still kind of a cool, nice little nook with the bed. I like the brick-built curtains back there. I think that's really cool. And then there is two kind of levels up here. We have a closet up here, and I can't remember if there's currently... You can put stuff in there, but here we have a really cute picture of Anna and Elsa right there. I think that's a really cute little picture. And then up here there's just a little nook. I think that's where you put the little penguin figure. But it's just kind of a little nook, not really anything significant. We'll zoom all the way out kind of so you can see how everything is. And I will say that I kind of like the detailing of this. I wish there was a way that they could have had this be the entire floor. I think that looks awesome, and I do kind of wish that was the entire floor, like they tiled the whole floor in. I think that would be great. But that's pretty much the whole set. My overall thoughts on the set are it is pretty awesome. However, there are some things that could be better. Like I said, down here it feels a little barren. The colors are great, however, and I was thinking about this a lot because I had it on my desk, and if you look at the pictures of the ice castle, it's basically, color accurate would be 100% this satin color. No aqua, no white. You could have snow for the base, obviously, but it, you know, no white and no aqua. So it would be like completely this part here. And then when I thought about that, I was like, that would make for a really boring build and a little bit of a possibly boring display, because it's going to look big, but it's going to be all the same color. And I think that would kind of detract from it being Lego, and I think that would limit their options without making tons of new pieces. They did make a lot of new pieces for this one. Yeah, so I mean, the fact that there's white in it and aqua in it, I don't think is bad. If it didn't have it, it probably would have made building it possibly harder and way more boring, because it would basically be like, okay, another pillar of these parts, another pillar of these parts, another pillar of these parts, go up here, pillars of these parts, you know, it'd be the same thing all around. And it would be hard to get, you know, everything in with the parts. So I'm okay with it being white and aqua, although I kind of would prefer a little less white, I think. I think like this maybe being an aqua or a blue might make it a little better, but it adds texture and accenting because they can't just completely make it from ice. But let's take a look at the figures and I'll give my final thoughts. Okay, there's the pile of figures. Before I actually get into the figures, though, I wanted to make a note of some parts here that are new in this set and unexpected. So, this little, barely noticeable black one is the bar part into a stud. And normally they use that for, like, Elsa's Ice Blast back there. So you can stick a bar in it, too, you know. hold it into their hand, and this is the first time we've got it in black. Pretty much always has been in clear, and they put it in black, and they only use it for, not Sven, even though that's funny, Kristoff's lamp. And the other part is basically a short bar with a little nub in the middle, but the side thing is that you can put an accessory in each side, so you can do, you know, like this. You can make kind of a scepter with it, or a different kind of holder. I just think it's a really unique part. There's only 4 of them in here. It was unexpected, so I think that's a cool piece. And this crown piece actually is really cool. You get 2 of those in here too. Obviously, just like any accessory, you can put it on any character. So let's get to the most important figures in this set, and that is the Snowgies, of course. They pretty much are the most important figure you will be getting in this set. So let's take a look at one. So this is what they look like. We got a nice ball print on one of those voodoo ball type parts, or whatever they call them. On this time around, instead of a minifigure head in white, they kind of have a half snowball, which I think works great. You can't have another perfect ball because they would just roll around, but the fact that you can place them down is really cool. And as you can see, we get 4 of them here, if there's none that are hiding, but we also get 2 extra heads. So I think that's really cool, because I was worried we're literally only getting 1, and whereas they are kind of a side character, I still think they're kind of silly and cute, and I'm happy to see a bunch of those printed heads too. Don't know why you get 2 extras unless you're supposed to get more and I'm missing a part. The other thing we get is this stuffed penguin type thing, which is built virtually the same way, except instead of a rounded type part, it's more of a trapezoidal cone or whatever, and we have that cute little penguin print on there, and we also get an additional one of them, so that's kind of cool. Then we have a new Olaf. At least his head, I think, is new. So he's holding a cute little flower. I love that build for a flower. We'll take that off though. Now this is the Olaf from the Frozen 2, effectively, for a body. So he has really nice brown mini doll type arms, which are a lot more useful than how he used to be built. We can stick one kind of accessory in there, so we could put that crown there. Looks kind of weird, but you can do that. But his head is the different part, and I believe effectively it's dual molded, because you can kind of see the bluish in there, and it gives him that big kind of silly bucktooth type grin and wide eyes. Overall, it's a great little different Olaf head, kind of silly. We also get this kind of little grass part that they use for kind of a stick head or stick hairpiece. I think that's a nice addition. I think we first kind of got this part in black in the Minions set, so just a really nice Olaf, better than how they used to make him. And then let's go to our Kristoff. Now again, I told you he had a lantern that uses that one part. I really like this build for a lantern, even though it hangs really low. It's basically just a transparent brick upside down in using that one piece that I was just talking about to hold it, and I think that's really cool. So his prints are really nice. He even has kind of a skirt type print, even though that's, you know, basically his coat. He's got 2 different colors there representing boots and stuff. He's got a collar print. He's got a print around the body there. And unfortunately, nothing in the back. However, he does have the neck being that color, so it does allow him to look like he has a turtleneck or something on, which, you know, to stay warm makes sense. He's got that hairstyle that fits for him and kind of a smiling face. And then let's go to Anna. Now, her outfit is also new, but it is coming in a juniors set. I think it's a junior set, a smaller set to say the least. But we get this nice kind of midi-length skirt piece. We got a nice printing on there. I love that kind of flower build-up. We have black boots with even gold kind of detailing on there, which is kind of hard to see. because it won't focus on that point. But yeah, I love the detailing on the figure. Then, of course, the torso has wonderful printing on it. It looks just fantastic. And she carries not a Snogie head, a snowball. And then we have this combo, which we've had before, isn't different. I love this new cape. Just looking at how it looks like it's automatically sweeping, and it's literally just a different cut for the cape, and it's just, I love it. It's wonderful. And you can see how it looks like it's frayed already. That's actually designed as such to kind of give it end texture. And then we'll kind of pop that back so we can see that there is detailing on the back too. Unfortunately not on the skirt or boots, but still nice to have it on the torso, especially when you're not going to probably end up seeing it too much because you're going to have the whole figure kind of built up. And I just love how that cape looks like it's already kind of blowing in the wind without even doing anything. And then I should do this in order. We have Coronation Elsa. Now, from what I've heard, lots of people too, we have been waiting for this forever. You can see they kind of have the representation of the item she used in the ceremony, and those are just all gold parts. I'm going to take those off so we can see better. Now, she does have both of her gloves on the whole time. You can't really take them off, although I don't know how it would have felt if they made one missing glove. I don't think that would be great, but look at that skirt detail down there. Love it. We have that metallic kind of painting, just crisp and nice. And then the same for the torso. Again, similar printing. Just crisp and nice, and the glove cut off, everything just looks great. Her face doesn't look as smiley as some of her other faces look. It looks a little bit concerned, and I think that's fitting for the scene. And then she kind of has that all tied up hair piece, which has two different holes for accessories that you can put in there. And this is her big bib, or cape. And then on the back, before we look at the cape, again, we have nice detail coming around the back. Again, nothing on the skirt dress part, unfortunately. One day, maybe it'll get back printing. And then there's that wonderful cape. I just love that kind of gold embroidered printing. It was a very big surprise extra. The cape is ridiculously big, maybe a little too big. Maybe I would have liked it a little bit smaller, but it gives the effect that you could have it really flowing back in the wind, and that is only on the one side. But still, I love that design. I love it. I think it's great. Really nice cape there. And then we have our Let It Go Elsa, we'll say. So like I was showing those pieces before, she comes with this kind of crystal ice blast power parts, but we'll take those off, and then we can look at our figure. So the full dress printing on the front, effectively metallic blue, sparkling, glittering, patterned, love it. Torso is the exact same way. Her arms are light or metallic blue, you can just see it shining. It's wonderful. She has that kind of, I have confidently let it go type smirk. She unfortunately does have that standard hairpiece that she's had for like ever, unfortunately. It would have been nice to have something a little different, one accessory in the back. And I don't know if we've had this cape before. I know we've had, we've had this pattern before, but I don't know if we've had this length size cape so she can basically be running around with it. But you can see that crazy glistening pattern, and then the other side is just kind of that blue. So that's everything in this large mini doll set. And what are my opinions overall? Well, at $200 it is expensive. However, I will point out that as I've did in my parts review, there's lots of big parts. There's quite a few printed parts, no big printed parts. The sticker sheet is actually beautiful and can be used in other things besides this set. The amount of new parts is crazy. And the figures are personally wonderful. The prints on all of them, both on kind of the lower and the upper, look beautiful. I love them. A new Olaf head. Now you might be getting some of those in the smaller set, but to me it's still nice to have a bigger set getting new stuff in it, because if it was the same old and then we got a smaller new set with the same stuff, that would be kind of lame, or nothing new. I don't think that would be that great. One thing though I feel that could have been done different with the mini dolls is it would have been nice to have a Hans and those two guys in red that were the bad guys, because I think those were kind of instrumental in that scene and relevant. But then you might also argue that it would need Marshmallow and a whole bunch of other figures. It would have been nice to get a Hans in this set. I think that would have been the #1 thing, because then we could act out punching him for how mean he is. But not that I really super condone that, but he was really mean. But I think that would have been a nice addition, a nice surprise, and a nice kind of really special thing for this set. Now, I don't think it is necessary. We can get a Hans at some point. I just think it would have been fitting because of the scene that happened in the ice castle. But I'm happy with what we have here. We finally have a Coronation Elsa, which I think is just a great figure. And the build is maybe not 100% color accurate, perfect, but I like it a lot. It's really tall. I do plan on doing a kind of comparison video, hopefully someday, of the height versus other kind of larger sets or custom mocks that I've made. My Elsa's HQ comes to mind. And I won't lie, I wish I could just straight up buy another one and redo my Elsa's HQ because of all the cool satin parts, but that's a lot of money and I shouldn't do that. So yeah, I really like this set. I really enjoyed building it, and my light just went out. So that's probably my cue to hurry up. And I really like this set. It might be a little pricey because you only get 1,700 pieces. But for our first direct-to-consumer type mini doll set, I'm very happy. This is a great start. I really hope to see more. I really don't like the people complaining that there's mini dolls in it and it should be minifigures, when there's so many themes that get all minifigures all the time and never get mini dolls. It's a whole nother conversation, which I'm not getting into here. My light said I should be wrapping up. So thank you for watching this video. Hopefully maybe you'll get out there and get this set yourself. Let me know what you think. And if you watch my whole entire parts review and this video, you're insane and have spent way too much time listening to me. Or at least I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks again. Check out one of my other videos.